Just north of Johannesburg, 6,000 feet above sea level, the scene of round 2 of the 1984 World Championship for motor racing. From the helicopter we see Crowthorne Bend at the end of the long start-finish straight, then Barbecue Bend, and then the left-hander in the middle of the picture now is the flat-out fifth gear left-hand Yukskai sweep, and that's where in the morning warm-up before the race Piercarlo Ghinzani, the 32-year-old Italian driving an Azella Alfa Romeo, hit the bank. The car broke in half, burst into flames. In the red overalls, running from his car towards the accident, that was Winkelhock, the German. There's the front half of the cockpit covered in fire extinguisher foam. That was all that was left of the front half of the car. The engine was 30 yards away up the track. That's a turbocharger being moved as the marshals clear the wreckage. And the race now starting a delayed start because of trouble on the grid, just like in Brazil. Alain Prost is going to start from the pit lane after having had problems with his McLaren. He's starting with the spare car from the pit lane. On pole position, Nelson Piquet with the Brabham. In the green and white car, Keke Rosberg. The black number 12 is Nigel Mansell's Lotus. Behind him, it's Patrick Tombé's Renault. There's the red light, there's the green. A bad start for Piquet, who's overwhelmed by the rest of the cars, but as we see the long start-finish straight, Rosberg in the lead, but already Piquet has recovered to move up into second place. The rest of the cars jockeying for position down into Crowthorne for the first of 75 laps. There is Prost leaving the pit lane. That's where he had to start with the spare car. Rosberg going through there in the lead. Brabham second and third because it's Piquet second, it's Fabi third, then the two Renaults, no, it's Niki Lauda fourth in fact in McLaren number 8, then the two Renaults, and Elio De Angelis is next up in his Lotus. So Rosberg Williams, Piquet Brabham, Fabi Brabham, Lauda McLaren, Warwick and Tombé in Lotuses, De Angelis next up in Lotus Renault. This is lap 1. Up the hill, out of the S's. This is Leurkop, the uphill sharp right-hander, second gear, 115 miles an hour, onto the long 200 mile an hour straight, which has a right-hand kink in it just before the pit entry. But they take that flat out. There's the right-hand kink, and on down the long straight at the end of lap 1. The leader is already Nelson Piquet. Piquet takes the lead from Rosberg. Third is Fabi, fourth is Lauda, fifth is Warwick, sixth is Tombé, seventh is the Lotus of De Angelis. There, the yellow-nosed white and green car. In second place is Rosberg. Fabi already very close in third place. There is leader Piquet. And Fabi challenging already second man Rosberg. As they go out of the S's and as they come down the straight, there goes Fabi into second place. Rosberg tucks in behind third. Lauda very close fourth. The two Renaults fifth and sixth. Fabi's car is bottoming in showers of sparks under braking for Crowthorne Corner. That's where they slow from 200 miles an hour plus to about 120, down from fifth gear into third. That's Barbecue Bend. Yukskai Sweep, the left-hander where Ghinzani went off. Down to Sunset. Fabi clipping the curb there, but already pulling away in second place from third man Rosberg, fourth man Lauda, fifth man Derek Warwick. Lauda is challenging Rosberg already. Rosberg third, Lauda fourth. Lauda up alongside Rosberg, but he can't get through before the left-hander of Clubhouse. De Angelis there, 27 is Alboreto, the feet behind Alboreto, but there goes Lauda, passing Rosberg into third place. Rosberg demoted to fourth. And Lauda really pressing on, takes second place now from Teo Fabi. So as Lauda glances across at Fabi, goes easily through. Fabi is pushed down to third. It's Piquet the leader, but watch now how Niki Lauda winds in the leader Nelson Piquet. Fabi is stuck in there in third place, but Fabi has already scrubbed his tyres too much in the early stages, and Fabi is going to make a pit stop soon for fresh tyres. So as Fabi drops back, Lauda closes on the leader Nelson Piquet. Here is Fabi coming in for his fresh set of tyres. That's after only 11 laps, which is much too early. And that's the beginning of the end for Teo Fabi. So we now have Rosberg back into third place. Derek Warwick is fourth. Patrick Tambay is fifth. Fabi in the pits. A quick Brabham pit stop. Not quite so quick as he gets away. 6.9 on the caption is not the correct duration. It was longer than that. And now we see Niki Lauda right up with Nelson Piquet. And a battle for the lead starts between these two. Piquet holds his arm up. He is going into the pits. They've had their long battle now, and we see Piquet dive into the pits as Lauda takes the lead that he is now to hold to the end of the race. Nelson Piquet coming in. It's an early pit stop for tyres after only 19 laps, and the reason, just like his teammate Teo Fabi, he has worn his tyres in this early high-speed charge. The car on full fuel tanks is heavier at the beginning of the race, uses its tyres more quickly. 9.8 seconds was the length of time it actually took to change the tyres, but then Piquet took a little bit more time to get the car underway. He comes out again right in the middle of the battle for third, fourth, fifth place. 15 is Tambay, 11 is De Angelis. Into sixth place, therefore, after his pit stop goes Nelson Piquet, and he has got Alain Prost behind him in seventh place. Now, Alain Prost has come storming up through the field. He started 26th from the pit lane. This is Piquet already passing De Angelis and closing up on Tambay. He passes Tambay also. So he's now fourth. Lauda leads. Rosberg is second. Warwick is third. That's Warwick lapping a back marker at the front of the picture, the red car 21, which was Baldi in the Spirit. But there is Piquet in fourth place. And now you see him pass Derek Warwick into third place. He's got Rosberg ahead of him with Warwick behind him. And it doesn't take Piquet very long to set about attacking Rosberg. There he goes. So already Nelson Piquet back into second place. He's had his pit stop, he's on his fresh tyres. Niki Lauda is a long way ahead of him, but Niki Lauda has his tyre stop still to come. So Nelson Piquet can still feel reasonably confident about the race, but that's until his turbocharger blows. So for the second time in two races, the BMW turbo engine lets the Brabham down. Nelson Piquet slows and comes into the pits. His race is run, and now Niki Lauda has a very commanding lead indeed. So there's Piquet in the pits, talks to Gordon Murray, the man in the white shirt. There is Niki Lauda making his routine pit stop for fresh tyres, and by now his lead is so great that, helped by a very smooth pit stop, he comes out back into the race still in the lead. So out goes Niki Lauda, spinning the wheels as he powers the tag turbo down the pit lane. Now this is the battle for second place, because Alain Prost's progress in McLaren number 7 has taken him all the way up the field, and he goes past Jacques Lafitte's Williams Honda into second place. So now it's McLaren's first and second. Derek Warwick takes fourth place by a very narrow margin from Michele Alboretto's Ferrari, and that becomes third place when a rear wheel falls off Jacques Lafitte's Williams Honda and he has to retire. So now it's McLaren's first and second. Derek Warwick is third. Michele Alboretto is fourth. That going off is Stefan Belloff, the German, in the Tyrrell, the non-turbocharged Tyrrell, and that is Patrick Tambay, furious at having run out of petrol for the second race running and losing what would have been a secure third place. So now Derek Warwick is third in his Renault, and fourth man stops also. Michele Alboretto stops out of fourth place with mechanical trouble with the Ferrari. Here is Niki Lauda coming up to take the flag, and he has lapped Renault number 16, which is the third placed Derek Warwick car. So first number 8 McLaren, third number 16 Renault, that's Lauda and Warwick, and coming through to take second place is McLaren number 7, and that's Alain Prost. So Lauda the winner for McLaren, Prost second for McLaren, Warwick's Renault third, Patrese fourth in an Alfa Romeo, De Cesaris was fifth in a Ligier, sixth was Senna de Silva in a Tolman. Lauda in the middle. On the right, in the blue, Derek Warwick. On the left, Alain Prost, who was second.